Welcome to It's Not About the Hair online series. My name is Valerie Fuentes. I am your host, and today I am with Kim Stamiris. She's joining us for the second time on our series, and I really wanted to bring Kim back because she has been such an inspiration for me as far as to how to handle and live life with hair loss, right? Because I'm a firm believer that we get to live the life of our dreams with this. And it's about integration. It's about making hair loss part of our life. No, we're not our hair. We are not our hair. I know that for a fact, but we do have hair loss. So how can we live a magical, powerful, amazing life with this? You have it right here in front of you. Miss Kim Sam, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. Second year. So I'm really excited to be here. Yeah.
Here and through the pandemic. Jeez.
I know.
Yeah. Okay. So why don't we start right there? Since last time we spoke, what has happened? Because I know we last spoke in September.
Yeah, it's been just a little under a year, I think. Mm-hmm. So what's happened? The pandemic happened severely. Oh gosh, in my personal life, I've got a new job, which is fantastic.
Yes.
I've been really open with my hair loss with everyone at work. So, I've gone on to a few meetings where I've actually forgotten to wear a wig, which has been really interesting. But everyone has been so accepting, have asked to learn more about alopecia and asked to learn more about, what it means to not have hair. And they're very supportive when I do wear my different colored wigs and crazy makeup. So I guess that's one of the positive things that's happened to me this year.
So how was that conversation? Or was there a conversation? Or was it just hey guys, just heads up, I have alopecia and I wear wigs?
Pretty much that's that is what happened. I mean, because I wear so many different wigs every day, I couldn't have really hidden it. So I'm not at a point where I hide my hair loss, but it's just one of those things where I think it was maybe the second week in, I perhaps announced it to my team who I work with on a day-to-day basis. And I just pretty much said to them, hey guys, I wear alopecia. I'm wearing a pink wig today. It's not real hair. So I think they kind of knew, and they told me that we kind of guessed you were wearing wigs, but we didn't want to say anything. So yeah, but for me, it was very natural to let everyone know that I do wear wigs. So yeah.
So do you feel like it was received well? Because I feel like that's our main fear is how is it going to be received? Are they going to think I'm weird? Are they going to think I'm sick?
I think it's also your own attitude when you tell your colleagues and your workmates that you do wear wigs. I kind of didn't leave it open for discussion in terms of let me know if you like them or not. It was more of a, hey guys, heads up, I wear wigs. I'm going to change my wigs all the time. They've come to accept it. I mean, it's been 6 months now. So, I get a comment here and there on team meetings, nice hair today, and I like this one better than the other one. So I think over time they've come to really accept that as part of my identity is that I do come with a different wig pretty much every single day. But also to some meetings, especially my morning ones, I just appear like this. So, yeah.
And you're so right. I think it's part of our attitude, right? Like so one thing that has changed for me since we last spoke is that I am wearing a lot more wigs now outside of toppers, because before
I have seen some really great ones that you wear. Yeah.
And so I went from, so for those of you who are just meeting us today, both of us, right? So for me, I was wearing a hair system for like 5 to 6 years. Then I transitioned into wigs and toppers a year ago. And now I am more honestly, more because of the weather, because in my side of the world, we are in winter. And so it's colder here. So I get to wear more wigs, and I am loving it. It's so simple and easy. And I don't have to think about the blending or it didn't move or did not move. It's a weird position. It's just there.
Yeah.
I get to have fun. So that has been my experience. So yeah, so I wanted to share about like my own personal journey is that like right now I'm getting so much more comfortable with wigs.
That's
That
amazing.
has been a change for me since we last spoke, is that I don't care. I before wearing a wig was like, oh my god, that is like the last step.
Yeah.
And now I am loving it
This
because
is the last step.
yes, you know what though? Like to be quite frank, I think that that is going to be hard for me
Yeah.
because of where I live, and I've burned my
True.
scalp really hard already.
Yeah. Oh no.
And I don't have to tell this, but like just having the little hair that I have, I burn my
Mhm.
scalp, and which I also know that if I put some sunblock on,
Sunscreen. Yeah.
better. But I'm scared.
No, definitely. And I think that's definitely one of the reasons to keep wearing wigs is for your head health, because there's a lot of maintenance in keeping bald. It's not just go outside. Now it's, you have to exfoliate, you have to wear a moisturizer on your head as well. You have to wear sunscreen. So, yeah.
Okay,
And
so
when you
actually, do you
go
mind
ahead.
like talking about that? Because I am one of those people that is considering to shave her head at some point.
Yeah.
So what are the things that we need to consider?
So shaving your head is very different to shaving your face. So you can still get ingrown hairs when you shave. So you need a really, really good shaving cream or shaving gel to use. Your razor needs to be a soft razor. If you're using gel and a razor, like it needs to be flexible, because your head is so contoured, right? It's so round. You might have bumps and things like that. So the choice of shaver needs to be very specific, or you can go with I think they're electric shavers, but the ones where the razors themselves are kind of they're like on cushions, so they conform to the shape of your head. After that, it needs a lot of moisturizer. You can use a toner. So there are specific bald head products out there, and there are so many, I guess, so many brands now that are coming out with bald head products, not just for men, but for women as well. So they're very inclusive of bald women. And I'm finding that they have really great products with a lot of essential oils in them and really great care for the scalp. And, the best thing for me and one of my go-to products is moisturizer for my head. I've tried so many brands and, I just want something that is soothing and moisturizing without being sticky. So, you don't really think of that when you see a bald person, but really there's so much that goes into it, especially if you shave. So, yeah, there are products out there, really inclusive products as well, that from brands that really are looking out for bald men and women.
So do you find that you need to moisturize as much as we need to moisturize your face? Like, is it a daily thing?
I do it every day. I find my scalp gets drier than my face.
Wow.
So, yeah, I think it's a larger surface area as well. So it does get drier and it also sweats more. So I find that I wash my scalp twice a day in the morning. Yeah, I don't like a sticky feeling scalp. So I'm very sensitive. My skin is really sensitive and has been since I first started losing my hair. And yeah, I just like to keep it nice and fresh, not sticky. So I don't like overly hydrating products. Yeah.
Okay,
But
awesome.
scalp health is really important. Having a nice clean
So
scalp.
on that note, I had a question about the what do you call it, the wig.
Mm-hmm.
How do you call what it's inside of the wig? The
Wig cap?
the wig cap, the wig construction.
Okay, yes.
For somebody that has a little bit of hair versus somebody that does not have any hair, does that matter?
It's not specifically if it matters or not, but what's more comfortable for me. After so many years of wig wearing, and it's only been 4, and I say it's so many, but it's what's comfortable for you. There are different types of wigs. There are hand tied and there are open wefted. Open wefted wigs may be a little bit more itchy for someone who has little to no hair. Whilst hand-tied caps are a lot more comfortable. They don't really cause too much friction on the scalp. But, I guess on the flip side of that, open wefted caps are more breezy.
Right.
You know, you can get a bit of fresh air in under there. Closed wefted are a little bit warmer because it is like wearing a sock on your head.
So you would say somebody like me living in Miami, Florida, where it's summer all year round, probably the wefted might be better than.
Yeah, I would definitely go and try one in store when stores open again. When you can go and visit a wig shop, definitely go in and just try some different wigs on. If you're new to wigs, go and try, you know, different styles, different lengths, different cap constructions, and find something that you think might work for you. And, you know, take photos. Bring a friend so that your friend can also help you, you know, with memory more than anything. Don't have to buy anything that first day. Go back again, go to another one, try different ones if you can. But it's really all about comfort. So if you're going to wear a wig for 8+ hours a day, you want it to be comfortable. So yeah. For me, it's all about comfort.
And something that I want to share with everyone, and I would love your opinion, Kim, is
of course.
A lot of people ask me, do you ever feel hot? Do you feel your wig? Does it feel uncomfortable? My answer to your question here in public, in all honesty, yes, you do feel your wig. Yes, you do know you're wearing it. Like, it's never going to feel like your own hair, right?
No, you're absolutely right.
By the same token, you know, if I wear a hat out on the beach, I'm also going to be hot. You know what I mean? Like, so is it wearing the hat, or is wearing the wig, or is, you know, you're just going to be hot, period. So it's like, it's your choice of how comfortable you want to be with yourself and what
exactly.
are you looking for, right?
Exactly.
So
and one of my tips is wear a bamboo wig cap or a wig liner if you're in a hot climate or if you're in summertime. It really does, it's moisture wicking. So for people like me who sweat, or, you know, if it's too hot, wearing a bamboo wig cap really does help with the scalp temperature. So really great.
This is so I only heard about this from you actually just last week. Bamboo wig cap. That's what we're looking for. Okay.
Yeah, bamboo wig cap. You can find branded ones. So I know that it's brands like Jon Rolfe have some, but also you can find them on eBay or Amazon. So, you know, just look for bamboo wig caps or bamboo wig liners, and they're perfect. They have a bit of stretch as well.
Love that. And now that you're speaking of Jon Rolfe, I wanted to ask you, when you say you are a Jon Rolfe education ambassador, I think
that's right. Yeah.
What does that mean?
So I'm not the face of Jon Rolfe. So a lot of people ask me, oh, you should model for Jon Rolfe. I'm just like, other people do that. That's their job. What I do with Jon Rolfe and what the other education ambassadors who are absolutely amazing, that we kind of work together. We don't really work, but, you know, we meet with Jon Rolfe and the Jon Rolfe team once a month. They share tips on wig maintenance, topper maintenance, you know, education tips like how to measure your head, what cap fits best for you, and so on and so forth. So really just that education portion behind wigs. And we share those tips with our followers on social media in our own language, in our own style. You know, we're not mandated to talk specifically about something, but, you know, it's sharing that knowledge that we've learned from the professionals. And for me, that's really important because I know that what I'm sharing comes from the brand and from the company. You know, it hasn't been fudged or made up in a way. So, yeah, it's credible. And that's what I really like. It's credible information.
It's huge because I think that, especially in our environment, there is so much misinformation, right?
Oh, yeah.
Or a lot of personal information and different experiences from different people in different environments. So, yeah, I totally appreciate that. So last time that we talked, I remember you shared a story about your family and sharing with your family and how that wasn't the most comfortable feeling.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, if you were to go back in time and handle that differently, would you handle that differently? Or now that you know what you know now, like, what would you do?
So emotion is a funny thing. So the way we respond to circumstances and the way we respond to people's comments is most of the time fueled by emotion. So, if I would have reacted differently, probably my emotion may have overridden my common sense and my response. Now that I know what I know and I've been through what I've been through, and it's been 4 years now, or 4 years next month, actually, I probably would deal with it a lot more rationally and try to make my family understand in a rational way, instead of butting heads emotion with emotion. So and really just explain about hair loss and give them the information. My family is so on board with me and how I look and the way that I interact with others in social media and face to face and people that I meet. But I think it is, when emotions are so high, it's very hard to, I guess, come across rationally. So yeah, that's the only thing that I can think of.
Your interview was really eye-opening for me because I never considered anybody else but me when it came to the pain, right? Like when I talked to you, that was the first time that I thought, like, honestly, that I had the awareness of, oh my God, my parents actually have feelings about this.
Yeah.
And I was able to, my mom has, during, I don't know if it was during that event or an event before that, where she expressed that feeling towards, what was happening, when she said, I've been praying that, that you get your hair back, or that I lose my hair so you get it back. Like all these things that she said. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, why are you even thinking about this? But I never considered their feelings because I was so wrapped up into my own that I never even thought about that. Now that I'm married, not only I think about their feelings, but I'm also considering my in-laws' feelings about it, right? Because obviously, as somebody coming into a new family, you're like, well, they should love me the way I am, right? But at the same time, this is not something that everybody deals with, right?
Right.
So I feel like it also have to be some kind of understanding and open as to how do I share with them, right? Because they also get to learn and embrace this, right? Like I have to give them the same opportunity and benefit of a doubt that I will give my coworkers or my friends or anything. It's my in-laws.
For sure. And you're a lot more, I guess, emotionally tied into your in-laws as well. So, there is emotion there. It's not so much like your colleagues or your workmates, but because you're so emotionally involved with your in-laws, and, you hope that they still love you, and they hope that, it's that whole acceptance and respect from other people. That's where, it takes other steps, and that's where you kind of have to consider what they're thinking and going through, and how you can break through to their more rational, I guess, their more rational sides, that they understand as well what you have, what might be causing it. There may be no cure, like really take it in a more step-by-step approach. And I find that might help. Again, sometimes emotion beats the rational discussion that you might be having. So yeah, it's finding a way that works for you to express what you're going through, for sure.
Yeah, like you said, like knowing how to manage that, right? Like knowing how to meet people where they're at, which I think is also still something of my biggest learnings, and I continue to learn. It's like, where do I meet people in our community, outside of our community, and like really being aware of where everybody's at, because sometimes I'm not. Sometimes because I feel like everybody's empowered and everybody's to the other side and everybody wants to share. I mean, it's not like that, right?
It's not like that at all. Everyone has their own personal things that they're not sharing. Like no one knows the private life of others when the cameras are off and social media is closed down for the night. So
yes, and I deal with that myself. So on that note, that was going to be my next question, because I we do see you as somebody that is very comfortable with her hair loss. You are definitely owning this 100%, right? You are living your life fully with hair loss. Yeah. So what are you struggling with right now? Is there anything that you're struggling with right now?
Yeah, so I've actually started talking about it a little bit more on, I guess, my social pages. Is I have many other autoimmune disorders. I don't call it a disease, I call it disorders. I think one begets another, and it's like a roller coaster, or like, yeah, there's just so many things, snowballs out of control. So I have rheumatoid arthritis, and I have lupus as well. And I've really been struggling with my lupus a lot the past couple of months. I have extreme lupus flares. My brain gets in a fog. So I have really intense brain fogs, and I'm just coming out of one right now. So yeah, I can't focus. I can't focus on screen. My memory is really poor. I don't have the will to do anything. So some might say that I'm lazy, or sometimes I put myself down because I'm not energetic. But yeah, for me, that's been a constant struggle, especially the past maybe 4 weeks. But I broke out in hives and rashes, and I'm back on autoimmune protocol to try and help me from the inside. It's a diet and a lifestyle where I've eliminated foods that cause inflammation, and I'm trying to fight my inflammation from the inside out, and hopefully be able to stop taking medication at some point.
Yeah, and I have to ask, because you do so much for other people, how can we support you?
Oh, I'm actually getting some really lovely messages. I kind of disappeared off social media for a little while. I have an app I use where it uploads posts sometimes, that are pre-scheduled, and I've been off for a little while in the back end. Yeah. And I've been getting some really lovely messages, especially from my Australian friends, and, they've really been wondering where I am and if I've been okay. And, they've even said, we'll come to Sydney to see if you're okay. That, it's been really lovely. Physically, there's nothing anyone can do. It's nice to still connect with people, though. So I find that that's one of the highlights of my day, is just connecting with somebody, even if it's like a voice message, because sometimes I can't read the screen when I'm in this kind of fog. But yeah, it's been nice. The people who've reached out to me have been absolutely amazing.
God, I'm really happy to know that you are being supported, just like you support us. Because
thank you.
Are a big support in our community. So for me, it's always so important to know that it's a two-way relationship, right? And I like share this with everybody. Don't be a consumer. Don't be the reader. Contribute, give back, right? It's like it works 2 ways, and this is the only way that we get to grow together.
Absolutely. I definitely think you're right, but as a person who's kind of empathetic to what other people are going through, like I'm really empathetic to that. And I do tell my partner all the time, is like, I've been through it. I can help other people, and it may cost me my energy, but other than that, it's,
but it also lights you up, right? Because it lights me up.
Yeah.
And I know you wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't like you weren't getting like something for yourself, like some
Absolutely.
kind of growth, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so I wanted to ask you, what is next for you, right? Because I'm always trying to get everybody next level. So what is Kim's next level?
So my next level is, I actually have a personal next level, which I've not really told anybody. My next level, when it comes to what I look like, I guess, is I want to be a lot more free with my clients. I work a lot virtually. Mm-hmm. So I've not gone in front of clients without a wig. So I'm always wearing a wig with clients. So my next step is actually chucking the wig and appearing like this on a Zoom call with a client. So that's probably my next step in my personal growth, and where I want to be, hopefully sometimes this year. So that's definitely where I want to be. You know, I've got that. I think I mentioned it last year. I mentioned last year, I try and do one new thing a year. That's it for this year, 2021. Yes.
Okay. So do you have like a goal of how many meetings you're going to have without you, or not really? Just
no,
whenever
not really. I think definitely whatever feels right. I mean, I have a few clients that I know will be really open and receptive to it. You know, we have really good relationships, but yeah, I don't know if I do it with all the clients or if I take it step by step. I think baby steps always works in my opinion. So taking it one meeting at a time and seeing how it goes.
And do you think that there is a conversation to be had, or is it like, okay.
Yep. I think some of my clients know that I wear wigs. So, you know, it's either in part of, I work in the healthcare industry. So it comes into the conversations about autoimmune disorders and autoimmune diseases. And a lot of them know that I have alopecia and that I have lupus and rheumatoid arthritis. It just comes into the conversation because of my line of work. So, yeah, I think it might be an easier transition than what I have, that block in my brain. So, but other than that, what's next is just live my best life. I want to live my best life. Just keep living it and not feeling the restraints from society and those false taboos that are out there about people being bald or wearing wigs, or you're a woman, you're white and you're bald. So, you know, that for me is something that I choose not to listen to anymore. And yeah, I just completely ignore that and do my own thing.
So Kim, I don't know if you know, but lately, and very recent actually, here in the States, there has been a lot of YouTubers doing bald pranks. I know they are from here and they're, you know, just in the States. But I was wondering, like, if there is anything like that happen in Australia, and does it affect you?
So we don't have, I think the scale of social media is not the same in Australia as it is in the States.
Okay.
So our influencers, if you want to call them that, they're not as large scale as your American ones and who are doing those pranks. I'm actually really, really hating what they're doing because they're not considering people who have a medical illness like alopecia, or have been treated with chemicals which causes them to lose hair. What bothers me most though, and you know, this is really, really a difficult discussion for me to have and to open up about it, but I need to have it, and this is a great place to have it, is what bothers me are influential people in the hair loss community with alopecia saying that these influencers are amazing and they're doing a great job raising awareness about hair loss. That just makes me want to crawl out of my own skin, because it's a prank. When you're playing a prank, it's a practical joke. It's not to raise awareness, you know, and having other alopecians who have influence in the hair loss community say that, look how great this person is, it's really, really making me so angry. Yeah. So that's where I stand. I think that you shouldn't prank about anyone's physical appearance, anyone's disability, anyone's medically induced appearance. It's just, I'm losing my words, honestly. And that's why I haven't spoken about it publicly, because I'm really scared that what will come out of my mouth. Yeah.
No, you know.
But thank you for raising it. Yeah.
Oh, of course. I'm like, honestly, the first time it happened, I was deeply upset. I was so pissed off. And as it continues to happen, what is bothering me the most is how unresponsive these people are being, right? And because I'm so responsible of what I say, because I think the platform that we use, I don't take that lightly, right?
Yeah.
Whether I have 1,000 followers, 100 followers, 3,000 followers, I do know that what I say has an impact.
Exactly.
And for somebody that has 2 million, 3 million, whatever million followers to just wash their hands and be like, well, that's who I am and that's it. And not understand the impact of their words, that really bothers me. But it's obviously deeply personal because I'm also somebody that has hair loss. But I also see it in a bigger scale, right? Like, it's not only about the hair loss community, it's about being responsible of your word and knowing that what you say has an impact on the community.
Definitely.
Like, we get to be responsible of our word. It's our word. That's all we are.
Definitely. And I take that, I actually measure that person up next to a racist. So, like, that's how severe it is, judging, or not judging, but mocking and not considering other people's feelings who may be bald, then that, for me, that person is trash. Sorry. Yeah. That person is trash. And funnily enough, I follow a makeup artist from Europe who launched a video this morning of her doing a bald prank on her boyfriend.
Oh my gosh.
And I wrote her a message and I completely unfollowed her off YouTube. So yeah, I won't. Pardon?
This year, why is this happening? Because this was not the thing. All of a sudden, it's so strange.
I think lockdown has actually affected people's minds a little bit. So they're just doing things for likes, follows, and things like that. It's that whole, entertainment, the idea of entertainment during lockdown. So, like TikTok just exploded, and that's entertainment. That's something that you do to entertain others and to be entertained. And I think that's what these pranks are as well.
Yes.
Yep.
Cam, so how do you deal with this? Like, if you were to encounter this kind of criticism in your personal life by, I don't know, somebody in the grocery store, I don't know, a stranger, like, how do you deal with this on a regular basis? Because I know this is something that we get to live with on a regular.
Yep. I think the first few times I was too shocked to say anything. And, when I say that, people are actually like, no, you? But I was like, yeah, the first few times it happened to me, I didn't know how to respond. But as I grew into myself, I found that I was actually stopping and taking the time to tell someone that I actually have alopecia universalis. I'm not ill. I just don't have hair. That's it. And that's all I say. And there's nothing else to say.
There really isn't. And I think it's interesting that you say that, because I think that's people's main concern. I recently interviewed Rosie. She's a child with alopecia. She lost her hair when she was 2. She's now 9 years old. And the first thing that she said was, the first thing that I tell people is that it's not contagious, because all children are concerned that they're going to get it. And so, it's so interesting that that's where our mind goes. It's like, oh my God, is this person sick? Am I going to get it?
Yeah. I think as an adult, a lot of other adults immediately think cancer. Cancer and chemo when they see a bald woman, especially. It's like, she either has cancer, she has chemo. And I do get asked that question quite a lot. People are very forthright in Australia, and they're not embarrassed to ask if you have cancer. So, but once you take a minute to literally tell them that it's alopecia and that it's just my body's immune response to hair and like forcing the hair out of my head, they're okay. I find that their reasoning comes into play and they understand it, and you're raising awareness. It's another person who knows a little bit more about alopecia.
Yes, I love that. Kim, and the last question that I have for you, which I actually already asked, but I want to dip into this, because part of the mission of this particular summit is that this is not about the hair, right? It's about all the other things and getting our life in balance, our life in harmony, because I'm a firm believer that when all areas of your life are in balance, you're not going to care about the hair, right? It's not It's not going to be important because everything else is in balance. So the question that I get a lot is, how am I going to feel feminine? How am I going to be sexy without hair? When I asked you that last time, you said, I am feminine, I am sexy. I don't do things. I am, right? Was that always like that? Or at some point, did you have to, get into that mode of like, I don't need to do things, I am?
Yeah, so my response is still the same. I am sexy, I am feminine. That's just how I feel.
Yeah.
I definitely do not need hair to be sexy or feminine at all. But how do you get into that mindset? So,
Right. Was there a point that you were not there?
yeah, so definitely. I think when I first experienced my complete hair loss, so it must have been the first year, I was actually really shocked at how I appeared. Not only because I lost my hair, but because my hormones were so out of whack that I put on maybe 20 kilos. So I was just like this little Michelin man, chubby, and no hair and no eyebrows. And for me, it was the no eyebrows that I found I couldn't cope with, because I felt like I wasn't a woman. I just felt like a blank alien. There's nothing wrong with looking like a blank alien. Trust me. Now there's days where I don't even wear eyebrows and I blank out my my tattooed eyebrows. But back then, it was a baby step for me as part of my journey and my acceptance. And for me, once I got my eyebrows microbladed, it was almost automatic. No joke. It was almost automatic and overnight. And I was just like, okay, I feel like myself again. And that's a little cosmetic procedure. It wasn't an overhaul of something internal or anything like that. For me, it was just one small cosmetic tweak to this part of my face. And I was okay with that. Some women need eyelashes, and that's why we have amazing false eyelashes. Some women need a bright, right? Someone needs a bright pop of lipstick or something like that. So if you make those small tweaks, and good for you, power to you. If you want to get your boobs done, get your boobs done. It doesn't matter. It's how you feel about yourself. I think that we are all feminine regardless of how we look. Regardless if we have vitiligo, regardless if we have no hair, regardless, if we have burning, if we have whatever, we're all gorgeous. We're ourselves. So, you come to accept yourself and love yourself, and you will be sexy.
Yeah. And honestly, to me, it's all about energy, right? Like we all have masculine energy and feminine energy, and we get to have both. I was very much in my masculine energy when I was working in corporate, and I was a corporate warrior, and like I will work like 80 hours a week and do all the really masculine, like in my power things. And now I get to embrace more like my feminine side and follow my intuition and like be the goddess sexy, like all the things, like I get to embrace that. But it's like, what energy are you putting into it, right? Like, who are you being and not what are you doing? Because you can do all the things, but if you're not being that energy,
I love that. I absolutely love that. And there's so much truth in that. I think we pull from those different energies in every instance of our life. Yeah. I mean, I know that I may look really feminine, but I'm a bit of a tomboy, like I'm very... And it's that energy which I think gives me a lot of self-confidence as well. So yeah.
And it goes back to my point that I think that once we're in balance and harmony, the hairless does not matter, right? Like, it's about
not at all.
balance in yourself in all areas of your life, that at that point, whether you have hair or not, it's not really relevant.
Absolutely. And I'd like to think that I practice what I preach as much as possible. And I feel really comfortable and confident just being me.
Yeah. Thank you, Kim. That's why I'm so excited to have you here again. Is there any last words or piece of advice you want to share with us?
No, just be comfortable and confident in where you are right now. take small steps. Don't rush to the finish line because each person's finish line is so different. You know, come to love where you are right now before you take that next step. That's my piece of advice is, love where you are right now before you take that next step.
Yeah, and I stay on the step and on the step that you're in, right? Like, don't try to rush it. We all go, we all have different timelines. We have different background support systems. Like, there are so many things that influence the way you experience this that don't. And another thing that I will add to that is do not compare yourself.
One of the most important things is to not compare yourself, for sure.
Yes. And especially, you know, if you are already immersed in this community, I know that can happen a lot. And I've, you know, heard from a lot of people that feel triggered from others. Like, I'm never going to be that confident. The thing is, you will, but you get to stop comparing yourself to that person because you're not them and you have your own life. So that's
absolutely
also my last piece of advice. And with that, I want to thank everyone for being here with us for the last week. You know, we have learned, we have laughed, we have cried, we have all the things. So thank you for being with me once again. And thank you, Kim, for being with us once again.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, this will not be the first or the last. As you know, I'm very passionate about spreading the message, sharing the message with the world, with the masses. And the thing that I want to leave you with is that it's going to take a village. I know it will take a village. So I'm asking you, every single one of you, to contribute and take it another step forward in sharing the message that we're not our hair, that we get to live powerful, amazing lives with our hair loss. And do that by living your best life, right? This is not about doing posts on social media or, you know, doing a public service announcement. Is about living your own life. The moment you start living your life powerfully, that's all we need, because you're being an example that we get to live the most amazing lives while living with hair loss. So just focus on you, live the most amazing life that you can live, and share it with your friends, because we're all here and we're going to be here to hold you and support you along the journey. So thank you, everyone. I love you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Kim. Talk to you soon, guys. Bye.